Ever had your boarding pass scan turn into an instant $150 paywall? That wait, since when moment is officially the new normal. Welcome to Flying in 2026. Airlines have basically rewritten the rules while we weren't looking, burying major changes deep in the fine print. It's a calculated game. What you don't read is exactly how they legally raid your wallet at the gate. It honestly feels like you're expected to have a law degree just to board a flight nowadays. Today, we're exposing these traps, from stealth fees to the new regs that could leave you stranded. Stick around, because knowing the play is the only way to save your vacation from becoming a total financial nightmare. This April marks the end of an era. Southwest just killed their biggest flex. The Bags Fly Free promise is officially history. Starting April 9th, that first bag will cost you $45. If you book on autopilot, that budget ticket might actually end up costing more than a seat on a legacy carrier. Why the sudden squeeze? Airlines are blaming record-high fuel prices from Middle East tensions and passing the bill straight to you. For a family of 4, you're looking at an extra $160. Basically trading a high-end vacation dinner just to pay for jet fuel. It's an industry-wide grab. Delta and United now charge $200 for a third bag. Think about that. Checking a suitcase can now cost as much as a whole new flight. So what should you actually do before you buy? If you're a Southwest loyalist, the Rapid Rewards card or a Getaways package is your only way to keep those freebies. Otherwise, your best bet is to do the bag math before you click buy. It takes 2 minutes, but saves you from an expensive surprise at the check-in counter. And a heads up, don't assume you can get away with an oversized carry-on at the gate. Staff are on high alert with metal sizers, and if your bag doesn't fit every single inch, they'll charge you the premium price on the spot. More on that in a moment. Did you know the person scanning your ticket might be looking at your suitcase like a payday? This year, some budget airline gate agents are basically bounty hunters. They can pocket a $10 commission for every oversized bag they catch and force to be checked. They aren't just being strict, they're highly incentivized to find a reason to charge you. If even a single wheel or handle pokes out of that metal sizer, expect an instant, non-negotiable fee of up to $75. The biggest problem? Those airline-approved bags on Amazon. Many of them ignore the wheels in their measurements, which is exactly where agents look to flag you. It's like a speed trap, but for your luggage. Your play-by-play to avoid the fine is this. Measure your bag from the floor to the tip of the handle at home. If it's even close to the limit, prepaying online is significantly cheaper than getting busted at the boarding gate. Also, give your bag a test run in the free sizers near the check-in desks before joining the line to avoid getting charged at the gate. If you're the type who loves the thrill ride of checking in on your phone at the very last second, United just killed the game. They've tightened their domestic check-in window to a hard 45 minutes before takeoff. Miss that cutoff by even 1 second? The system automatically voids your reservation and hands your seat to a standby passenger. No negotiations, no pleas, just a canceled ticket. And this is where United gets especially strict, especially on base economy. On these tickets, overhead bins are strictly off limits. If you try to bring a full carry-on to the gate anyway, they're going to catch you, and they'll hit you with a massive gate handling fee on top of the standard bag price. It's an expensive mistake you can't talk your way out of. To stay in the clear, make this your new standard. Get to your boarding gate at least 60 minutes early. Don't give the airline a legal reason to bump you just because you didn't know the new rules. But even if you make the flight, the risk shifts to your luggage in the cargo hold. Delta just launched a new policy that gives you an incredibly short window to report a missing bag before your compensation rights totally vanish. Delta's 20-minute bag guarantee used to be the ultimate travel hack. If your luggage wasn't on the carousel in 20 minutes, you scored 2,500 free miles. But in 2026, there's a major catch. They've quietly shrunk the claim window to just 2 hours post-touchdown. If you spend too long waiting for an Uber or grabbing a latte, those miles evaporate before you even leave the terminal. It's not just the clock either. Delta now puts the entire burden of proof on you. If your suitcase goes missing, they expect a full paper trail of receipts and valuations for every single item inside. Without that, they'll likely hit you with a lowball payout that won't even cover the cost of the suitcase itself. So don't let them lowball you. Do this instead. Before you zip up, lay your gear out and take a high-res photo of the contents. That time-stamped photo is your bulletproof evidence if things go south. File your claim through the app the second you see that empty carousel. Waiting until you get to your hotel is an expensive surprise you definitely want to avoid. And hey, while you're busy tracking your bags, the airport is busy tracking you. Here's the real secret behind those cameras staring you down at every security checkpoint. Next time you're at security, those sleek cameras staring you down aren't just for show. That's the TSA's new CCAT 2 system, and it's already live at over 65 major airports. Most of us just look at the lens because we think it's mandatory, like taking off our belts. But here's the reality. You're accidentally handing over your biometric data, and you don't actually have to. Though the TSA claims they delete your scan in 14 days, privacy experts believe it will end up fossilized in a federal database forever. Think about it. Once your face is digitized, there is no undo button for your identity. What actually works to keep your privacy? When it's your turn, just tell the officer clearly, "I'd like to opt out of facial recognition." They'll simply switch to a manual ID check the old-fashioned way. It adds maybe 30 seconds to your wait, but it keeps your face and your data entirely yours. There are zero penalties for saying no, no extra screening, no hassle. It's an option most travelers don't realize they have. Check your wallet right now. Does your driver's license have a tiny gold star in the top right corner? If not, you're essentially carrying a hidden identity tax that's going to go off the second you hit security. Since the Real ID crackdown kicked off on February 1st, TSA's new Confirm ID system has been hitting travelers without that star or a passport with a $45 verification fee on the spot. But here's the real kicker. That $45 only buys you 10 days of validity. If your vacation lasts longer than a week and a half, you'll have to shell out another $45 just to fly home. That's nearly $100 just for the privilege of proving you are who you say you are. Listen to me. Don't leave this to the last minute. Stop lighting money on fire and book a DMV appointment today. Getting that gold star is the only way to delete this identity hassle from your life forever. Think of it as a one-time chore that saves you from repeating the same ID problem every time you fly. You may see these clips. No, don't believe those viral TikToks claiming liquid rules are dead. In 2026, the 311 rule is still the law of the land, and security is more than happy to toss your $80 face cream in the trash. It's the same old math. 3.4 ounces or less, all in one quart-sized bag. The confusion comes from the fancy 3D CT scanners popping up at massive hubs like O'Hare, DFW, and Miami. If you're lucky enough to hit one of these smart lanes, you can actually breeze through without digging out your toiletries. But here's the reality check. Most smaller airports are still using Stone Age tech. If you show up with a full-sized bottle thinking you're in the future, you're going to be that person, the one holding up 100 people while an agent fishes out an oversized tube of toothpaste. The fail-safe way to pack? Unless you're 100% sure your specific gate has the new tech, just pack the traditional way. Investing 5 minutes of prep at home is a small price to pay to keep your favorite products out of the airport garbage can. Enough with the bad news. Let's lighten the mood with this. Believe it or not, the government actually threw us a bone. The DOT just dropped 2 massive wins for this year that finally put some power back in your hands. First off, the days of being charged $50 just to sit next to your own toddler are basically on life support. The DOT is heavily pushing a rule to make seating free for families with kids 13 and under. Now, to be fair, this is still moving through the legal pipes, so it's not a 100% mandatory law for every single carrier just yet. However, a few of them have already volunteered. If they can't seat you together at booking, they'll often offer a full refund or a free seat on a different flight. Just make sure your whole crew is on one confirmation number, or the system won't recognize you as a family. The even bigger win? The death of that 3-hour customer service hold music. If your flight is canceled or hits a significant delay, meaning over 3 hours domestic or 6 hours international, you get an automatic refund. No begging required. The money goes straight back to your original payment method. This even covers paid add-ons like Wi-Fi that didn't work. So, how do you hold their feet to the fire? Don't trust the airline's tech to be perfect. Always screenshot your delay times and save every receipt. Take control of the situation. If you're stuck overnight, don't just leave the airport. Go straight to the gate agent and ask for your meal and lodging vouchers. They're often required to provide them, but they won't always volunteer that info. Dreaming of a summer in Italy? Your passport is about to get a whole different kind of workout. As of April 10th, Europe officially flipped the switch on the Entry-Exit System, or EES. Those classic ink stamps? They're history. Now, every time you cross a Schengen border, they're digitally recording your face and fingerprints. It's basically Face ID for an entire continent. The first time through is a bit of a clog, so here's the hack for a smooth entry. Register as a family together at the automated gates so no one gets left behind. And definitely buffer in extra time for your layovers in Paris or Rome. These scanners can turn a quick connection into a total chaotic moment. But the real kicker hits later this year with ETIAS. It's a €7 digital permit you'll need to apply for online before you even head to the airport. Think of it like a cover charge for Europe. If you don't have that digital green light on your phone, the airline won't even let you board the plane. Planning a London getaway? There's a brand new golden rule. No ETA, no flight. Starting February 25th, your US passport alone won't get you through the gate. You now need a digital electronic travel authorization, or ETA, that costs around $15 to $25. Airlines are acting like strict hall monitors. They'll block your boarding the second they see you're missing that code because they don't want to pay massive fines to the UK government. Quick heads up for dual citizens. If you hold a British or Irish passport, skip the ETA and just use that native passport to fly. But here's the weirdest way to get kicked off a plane: having a messy passport. Gate agents are now scrutinizing that little blue book like a high-stakes beauty pageant. We're seeing real stories of people getting denied for the tiniest things. A small rip on the info page, a water stain from a spilled drink, or even those cute, decorative stickers on the cover. What used to be no big deal is now officially an invalid document. Right now, if I were you, I'd pull my passport out of the drawer and check it for wear and tear. If it looks beat up or has any signs of peeling, I'd replace it. It's a lot cheaper than being turned away at the terminal and watching your plane take off without you. Tired of standing in line until your feet go numb? Flying in 2026 is a grind, but you don't have to suffer like everyone else. There are super tools available right now that can make a chaotic airport feel like a VIP lounge. Level up your airport game for free by using the Mobile Passport Control, or MPC app. It's an official tool that lets you skip the massive customs line by simply submitting your info and a selfie on your phone. It's live at over 50 airports, and yet most travelers still ignore it. If you're willing to spend a little, Global Entry and Clear Plus are the ultimate fast passes to bypass the headache entirely. By the end of this year, your face will basically be your ticket. Most international gates are switching to facial recognition boarding. Just scan and walk on. But if that feels a bit too much like a sci-fi movie, you still have the right to say no. A quick request for a manual check keeps your biometric data private and out of the system. We're officially in the touchless era, with digital passports moving everything onto your phone. Be the traveler who's always ready. Keep your phone ID, and passport in one dedicated spot so you're always ready to move. That one habit alone makes airport days a lot smoother. So how do you keep your 2026 trip from getting derailed by all of this? It's not really about spending more. It's about knowing what's changed before you get to the airport. Here are the 5 moves that actually work right now. First, always carry a physical ID or passport. Digital IDs are slick, but if your phone dies or a scanner glitches, you're the one stuck at the checkpoint. Second, stick to the 3-1-1 liquid rule. A veteran move is to pack traditionally because you can't bet on every airport having new scanners yet. It's the easiest way to avoid getting held up in line. Third, if you're Europe-bound, double-check your EES and ETIS registration. Missing these digital permits is the fastest way to get rejected at the boarding gate. Fourth, use your phone as a black box for evidence. Under the new refund laws, screenshotting every delay and saving every receipt is your only real leverage to get your money back without a fight. Finally, if you aren't using MPC or global entry, you're basically volunteering to stand in line until your feet go numb. Traveling this year isn't necessarily harder, it just rewards people who prep. With these moves, the world is still wide open. Now be honest, what's your biggest travel fear this year? Surprise baggage fees or being trapped in a 3-hour security line? Drop your horror stories in the comments. If this breakdown saved your vacation, hit that like and subscribe button for more aviation deep dives. Thanks for watching.